My name is Trevor Gravink, and I'm here to talk about Google AdWords for real estate, how to avoid costly mistakes and build a profitable campaign, either to generate exclusive buyer or seller leads. And this will work in 2025. And I'm going to show you everything that you need to know, how to be able to research your competition and make sure that you set up everything right step by step. And we'll get into all the details on this video. Now, who is this training for? It's for anyone who wants to start running Google Ads, anyone who's currently running Google Ads themselves, but wants to learn how to optimize their campaigns, anyone who's paying someone else to run their Google Ads, or anybody that maybe is on the fence about running Google Ads. Now I'm going to go through the high levels of Google AdWords and show you how to set up one campaign step by step. But if you stay till the end, you can get my proven Google Ads strategy for real estate 100% free. Now don't jump to the end, because what we're going to do is we're going to go through not only how to be able to set up the campaign, but some important factors to be able to save you from making costly mistakes. I believe what I'm going to teach you is truly unique because not only do I know how to generate leads on Google AdWords, but I am a licensed real estate professional for mortgage and for real estate. So I've generated leads not only for loans, but for buyers and sellers. But not only that, but I've talked to these people, so I know the quality of the leads and which ones work and which ones don't. I'm spending my own money and I'm having my team work these leads, and I work with other realtors who are also converting on these leads. So it's more unique than if you were to work with an agency or somebody that's just setting up real estate leads, and their goal is to obviously get you a quality lead at the cheapest possible price. But with that, they don't actually talk to these people. They don't get the feedback that I'm going to be able to provide you from the perspective of somebody that's actually in the business. Now, you may be tempted to jump to the end of this training just to be able to get the free step-by-step course, but don't do that, because in this video, I'm going to show you everything that you need, and you might get the ingredients. However, if you don't actually have the recipe and you put the things in wrong, it can be very costly, right? If you were to bake something, you might know all the ingredients that go into making a great cake, but if you don't know the exact steps of, when to put in the sugar, how long to cook it for, all those different things, your cake's not going to turn out like the professional, right? You need to follow their exact steps. So make sure that you watch this entire training so you can get the fundamentals of Google AdWords. And then at the end, I'll give you the opportunity to be able to get the course for free. And then there's other training videos that I have that go even in depth, even more on each and every subject that I break down here for you today. So in this training, I'm going to show you how Google Ads work, costly mistakes to avoid, how to be able to pick the right keywords, how to know what keywords to target without any guessing, how to research your competition, and how to set up your first winning ad. Now, maybe you've ran ads before or you understand Google AdWords, but we're just going to start from the beginning so we don't skip any steps, and so that I can make sure that I'm giving my perspective on Google AdWords from a real estate professional and be able to go through everything from beginning to end so that nothing is left out for you. So when you're doing Google AdWords for search campaigns, this is when somebody actually searches something on Google. So they're going to type something in like homes for sale in San Diego, and that's a keyword that we want to be able to target. And then from there, it'll be what we call a sponsored listing. So the ads are going to show up under the sponsored section. What we want to do is we want to make sure that we're the first sponsored listing. The one at the very top, that's the one that's going to get clicked on the very most. Now, the key part is you only pay when somebody clicks on your ad. So you may get displayed many times when people search that term, but until somebody clicks, you're not actually charged anything. Now, what you pay per click is going to be dependent on what keyword you actually target. So if you target the keyword or phrase top realtors near me, maybe you'd love to rank for that term because you know that person's looking for a realtor. But to be at the top of the page, you're going to be looking at like $26 per click, which is extremely expensive. And remember, clicks are not leads. You got to then take them to a landing page and then convert them from there. So instead, a cheaper keyword that might work for you would be like condos in La Jolla. That's a location in San Diego. So you could do something like that, either cities, counties, neighborhoods that you want to be able to build your reputation on. You can do that. You can see there's a lot of people that actually search for that phrase. There's a misconception that, most people are going to Zillow or Realtor.com, but as you can see, just monthly for just an area that's like La Jolla, which is not a large area, there's 1,600 searches a month for condos in La Jolla. Now, that's not counting for searches that would be for houses in La Jolla, townhomes in La Jolla. And that's, like I said, one area. A realtor could work most of San Diego County, so there would be plenty of other areas that they could list in there to be able to create more traffic, more clicks, but at a much cheaper cost. Now, it doesn't mean that you wouldn't choose to rank for top realtors near me, but if you're going to go after that keyword, you better have a lot of reviews, you better have a great landing page that stands out, that shows why you're a top realtor. Maybe you've won awards in that area for being a top realtor. Well, then, it might make sense to be able to have that as a keyword because you can prove that you are. Right now, if you're a realtor that doesn't have that, then you want to stick to things that that's tried and true for any type of realtor to be able to generate leads. Now, like I mentioned, you're paying for clicks, and then once they click on the ad, Google is then going to take them to whatever landing page, web page that you're directing them to. So you need to make sure that you have high converting landing pages. Now, if you don't have this set up yet, no worries, I'll make some recommendations to you. You might already have an IDX website to be able to do searches, or you may have landing pages available to you. So don't get caught up in that so much right now. I'm just teaching you what needs to happen once they actually click. We need to actually convert that person into a lead. So we need to be able to bring them to a funnel that's all about trying to get them to put their information into our system so then we can reach out to them and then be able to talk to them as a prospective client. Now, I've personally spent, hundreds of thousands of dollars on marketing online. I've also worked with people that have spent a ton of money generating leads online for real estate. So what I want to do is not only show you how to be able to set something up properly, but how to avoid costly mistakes that we've made over the years that you can simply avoid by just copying and making sure that you don't make the same mistakes we did. Now, one of the main mistakes I see people trying to do is reinvent the wheel, or they think they may know better of what might convert. So not copying what's proven to work. Now I'm going to show you what's not only worked for me, but for other mortgage people, loan, real estate, but you can also just check it for yourself. Now you may not know this, but Google actually shows you all of the ads that other people are running. So they have the Google Ad Transparency Center, and you can go to this website, you can type in any URL or competitor, and you can see if they're running Google Ads. And if they are, it's going to show you what their ads are and what they're currently running. So for example, in San Diego, a great team that runs ads is the Beer Home team. You can see they have 582 Google reviews online. So obviously they've generated a lot of business. And then we can look them up through the Ads Transparency Center and see if they're running any ads. So we can see that they're currently running 3 different ads, one for La Jolla condos for sale, one for contact our home experts, schedule a home tour today, and then another search ad, La Jolla homes for sale. Okay, so they're doing essentially what I'm going to be able to show you how to be able to set up at the end of this video for setting up your first winning ad. So this is their ad and the keyword that I assume that they're targeting, and I have tools to be able to look this up that I'll also show you that some are free, and then one is paid for. You can get a free trial. But they're going to be going after La Jolla condos for sale. That's the key term. Now it might be condos for sale in La Jolla is another search term. Those things would all point to this sponsored ad. And then from there, it's going to take them to their website, IDX site, that's going to show them for condos for sale in La Jolla. And then it's going to try to capture their information. Another big real estate team in San Diego is Rissel Realty Group. And if we look them up, they're also running ads. So they're running home search ads as well, 7 newly added listings, townhomes in San Diego, and then we have lakeside homes for sale, newly added listings. Again, I'm assuming that their search term that they're targeting is townhomes in San Diego. That's why this would pop up at the top. It'd be very relevant to the search, so Google is going to like that. And at that point, when they click on this, you can see it says search.whistlerealty.com. It's going to take them to a page for townhomes in San Diego. Talking with a lot of real estate agents and mortgage brokers, one thing that I see a lot is that they just put their trust in an ad agency to run their ads, and they're not really understanding how Google ads work. They just expect, hey, I'm paying an expert to be able to set this up and do this right. What they don't understand is those people aren't in our industry, so a lot of times they don't understand what keywords they should be targeting and why, or what negative keywords they should be excluding, like for sale by owner. Most likely, I don't want to target that keyword if I'm a real estate agent that buyer is most likely trying to avoid using an agent. They're trying to get a cheaper home. Or if somebody put in like low income housing in and then a city name, I don't want to target that keyword. But what I've seen when I go into Google AdWord accounts that are set up by companies like this, some are set up great, but in most cases, they're doing like broad match keywords. They're not getting very niche. And so with that, your ad money doesn't go as far, and then your quality of lead goes down as well. So what you want to do is, even if you are going to hire an agency like this, is make sure that you have enough understanding that you can actually go in there and just check and make sure that you can give feedback to them. It's kind of like when I go in and I get my oil changed on my car, I really have no idea anything about cars. So when they come tell me that I need to change my filter or my fluids are low, and all of a sudden, the $50 oil change is a $300 cost, well, I don't really know what to say because I don't want to drive out of there thinking that, something could go wrong with my car. So in most cases, I just pay the $300. Well, $300, is still a lot of money, but when you're talking about your AdWords and you're spending, thousands of dollars a month, if you don't understand where that money is going and how you can, optimize that each and every month, then what you're going to do is just not have as much success as you could. So this video is going to show you some of the things that you can learn to at least be able to monitor what an ad agency is doing if you go that route. Another mistake is just getting leads at the cheapest cost possible. That can work if you have the time and ability to be able to call those leads and you have systems in place from once you get them to actually fill out the form to then be able to filter through them through like a CRM or other questions, emails, basically making sure that the people that you're going to actually make the attempts to talk to are more qualified. Okay, just because you're getting a lead at a cheap cost doesn't mean that it's not actually costing you more money, because time is money, right? If you could be spending it somewhere else, then in that point, you could be costing yourself. So it's not always the cheapest lead. There's a fine balance between quality and the cost of the lead. Now, real estate's a long sales cycle. We all know that. In actuality, when somebody starts their journey on potentially buying a home, it's usually anywhere between 12 and 18 months from when they start. Other, keywords could be sooner. I'm in the mortgage business. If somebody's, typing in get pre-approved, they're obviously a lot further along in the process than somebody that's just typing in homes in an area, right? So what the key is that the money is in the follow-up, that you have systems in place, because you can't be calling these people at all times and time it exactly right to when they're actually going to go out there and start shopping, right? So you need to have that in place as well. If you have a CRM, great. I have emails and campaigns that you can put into those that have worked. If you don't, then I have some recommendations for you, and actually the setup all done so that you can actually just upload it. One system that I use is Go High Level, which I get into in further trainings. I don't want to get into it in details here, but it is key that if you're going to be generating leads, that you understand that a lot of these people, when you call them, they're going to be a little bit hesitant. So you have to be able to work them and massage them and be able to get them to be able to want to work with you. Because our sales cycle is long, I see a lot of people not playing the long game with leads. Now, leads should not be the only way that you're generating business. And in the future, if you're buying leads now, hopefully, buyer leads, they buy a home later on in your career, they turn into a listing. Those people turn into referrals. So it just cultivates, right? You need to think of this as like planting seeds, or somebody that's, doing a winery. They understand that the grapes are going to take time to be able to age. The same thing with leads, right? You need to be able to cultivate them over time. And as you're spending money, you're building up your database to be able to work. And then as you're converting those people into clients, then you hopefully turn those into repeat clients and into referrals. So if you're, desperate to make money in the next 30 days, I wouldn't suggest that this would be the best option for you. But if this is your career, you're looking for ways to be able to build upon what you're already doing, then leads are a great way to be able to jumpstart you. One of the main problems I see with a lot of people's campaigns is that they can create great ads, they can target the right keywords, but then they're not sending the leads to high converting or specific landing pages. They're just sending them to like their generic website, which has too much information on it and will confuse the person and most likely not turn them from a click into a lead. They just go onto your website, they might look around, and then they leave. What we want to do is we want to send them to a specific landing page. So we all know Rocket Mortgage probably spends millions of dollars each and every year in their marketing. And you can see if you go out there and you put something in as far as like a loan or a mortgage, you'll be able to see that they're one of the sponsored listings, and they don't send them to their site, they send them to a landing page like this. This landing page is designed to do one thing, and that's to generate a lead. Either they're going to fill out this little survey that they have, or at the top you can see the call us button. Now this is the actual Rocket Mortgage homepage, and as you can see, there's so many buttons that if you send them to this page and somebody was searching, VA home loan or refinance or something like this, now they have to go and search for what they're actually looking for. When you send them directly to a squeeze page, landing page, funnel, whatever you want to call it, it's designed to be able to bring them to exactly what they're looking for. So if you were to, search for iPhone 15 and you click on one of the sponsored listings, it should take you to a page that's going to get you right to a shopping cart that has, the information to buy the iPhone 15. Well, same thing with real estate or anything else. If they're searching for condos in La Jolla, then your search would just be condos in La Jolla. It wouldn't take them to your main website. It would take them to specific listings. Another mistake is not optimizing negative keywords, and those are keywords you don't want to show ads for. So homes for sale in San Diego, you may want to show up, or homes for sale in San Diego by owner, you may not. So by owner or owner could be a negative keyword that you add to that campaign. So anytime somebody types something like that in, your ad will not show up. So it's key that you're adding negative keywords that you don't want to show up for. Like for me, I'm in the mortgage industry mostly, and I don't want to show up when they're searching for my competition, such as Rocket Mortgage. If somebody's searching for Rocket Mortgage and they land on my homepage, it's not going to say that, so they're going to bounce off, right? They're going to go back and they're going to go find a new search. Now, if you're a real estate agent and you're generating buyer leads, well, one of the most important things to be able to help cultivate that lead into a loan, which is then a buyer for you, is working with a pro lender to help you convert those leads. Okay, so you want to make sure that you partner up with somebody that understands the value of a lead, the sales cycle of a lead, and everything that goes into you being able to generate that lead. Now, if you're looking for a partner, if I'm licensed in that state, I'd love to be able to work with you. You can reach out to me. If not, there's plenty of people in the industry that work with leads. So make sure that you're talking to somebody that understands the difference, because leads are not referrals. And I see too many people treat leads like they are. So leads have no reference to who you are, right? So unless you have a lot of reviews, you're well known, maybe you market in the area so people see you on benches and signs and other things, you already have, that authority that you're an experienced realtor or mortgage and loan officer, right? Rocket Mortgage doesn't need to be able to prove to anybody that they can close on a loan, right? They spend a lot of money to be able to make sure that people understand that. Well, with leads with us, people don't know who we are, so we need to make sure that at the beginning of our conversations, we're building rapport with them, we're explaining why they should work with us, we're being a lot slower, we're asking a lot more questions of them and listening to what they need so we can fill those needs. You need to be able to make sure that you can prove to them that you are the person that can get them not only the answers that they want, but the home that they're looking for at the right price. So make sure that you're understanding that the sales process is completely different than a referral where somebody says, hey, you should work with Trevor. Well, that person's most likely going to listen to everything that I have to say. They're not going to do a lot of pushback, and they're going to trust that I'm the right person because I helped out their friend, their family member, whoever that is. With a lead, they don't know who we are. So we really need to be able to build our reputation up, build our authority up, and make sure that they know, like, and trust us. So what keywords should you target? Well, when people are searching, there's really 4 types of search intent. There's navigational, informational, commercial investigation, and then transactional. So if we look at this graph here, more transactional as we go up, Phoenix real estate agent, commercial real estate developer, sell home fast for cash, best mortgage lenders in Atlanta, versus at the bottom, it says rent versus buy Chicago, how to lease industrial property. So those are more people that are thinking about, should I rent still or should I buy? So they're more at the informational. They're trying to gather, is it the right time, versus somebody that's looking for an agent. They've already made the decision most likely that they're ready to buy. So that's the difference between those. So navigational would be somebody that's searching for like a specific site. So they actually go to Google, and you'd be surprised. Most people, you would think, would just go Zillow.com and go directly to it. But a lot of people go to like Google or a search engine and they just, type in Zillow and then they go to the top. It's probably Zillow.com and then they click on it. That's what we consider a navigational search. For informational, the user is searching for information on a specific topic. So is now a good time to buy? Right there at the beginning of the sales cycle. Now that keyword probably doesn't cost very much, but you can't just take them to a landing page that's asking them, do they want to purchase a home in this area, or take them to a search for homes. They're looking for answers. They're trying to figure out, can they afford to be able to do it? What is it going to cost? What's the comparison to what they're doing right now versus renting? And so you have to be able to prepare to be able to have that information ready if this is a keyword that you go after. This would be more something that you could maybe create a YouTube video about and then try to rank that YouTube video for that keyword, because you can go on there and you can speak upon that subject. Then potentially you could put that YouTube video on a landing page and have a squeeze form there for them. But again, it's a long sales cycle from there. That's probably not the main keyword that I would go after until you go after more of the low-hanging fruit, which I'll show you. So commercial investigation would be like top realtors in San Diego, and the user's researching for options or products. Okay, so they're much further along in the buying process. So these are the type of keywords that we want to start going after. And then the main one is transactional. This would be like somebody types in get pre-approved online. This user is searching for a specific product or service. So this is the farthest along. So really we want to stay in the commercial and transactional. And then maybe for the lower portion where people are more in the investigative stage, you can build that as you're going through. But for leads themselves, these are the keywords you want to go after. For the other stuff, maybe you want to do like more search engine optimization for those types of keywords. Now, once you decide what type of, keywords to go after, then you have to decide with Google if you're going to do broad match, phrase match, or exact match. Now, broad match means that your ads can show when searches use related keywords determined by Google's AI. So it provides the widest reach of any keyword match type. It's not something that I recommend unless you have like a broad subject that you're going after. For our case, in the example that I'm going to give you today, we would not use broad match. For example, if you were trying to go after condos for sale in La Jolla, if you use broad match, they're going to do Bird Rock condos for sale, La Jolla condo for sale by owner, certain condo actual like organizations, like where they're actually selling specific areas. And with all that, you're not going to be able to deliver them that exact search. So people are going to bounce off that page. So you don't want to go after every single keyword. We want to be very precise about what we're going after. Now, phrase match means that your ads can show when queries include the meaning of a keyword as determined by Google. And this keyword match type provides a middle ground between the reach and the relevance. And then exact match means that whatever they're typing in needs to match almost exactly. So condo for sales in La Jolla, or condos for sale in La Jolla, San Diego, La Jolla condos for sale. Like it would have to be exactly what they type in. What we would use is most likely phrase match for everything. You can use exact if you want, but then you need to have enough keyword volume and search volume to be able to actually get any type of traction with leads. That's why I would most likely use phrase match. That's going to get you enough clicks and you're going to show up enough times to be able to generate the leads that you want. Now, some things to consider when you're choosing your keywords as well as, broad match, exact match, those types of things is what is the average cost per click? Who's your competition? What is your budget? Who should be your target client? Do you have a team or are you a solo agent? Or where can you stand out and compete to make sure that when you generate that lead, that you can turn that lead into actual clients? So what is the average cost per click? Well, we want to look at the top of bid, high range. Okay, so homes for sale in La Jolla is $1.80 per click. Best realtors in San Diego is almost $27 per click. So obviously it's a lot more expensive. Most people are not going to want to compete for that word. And plus, best realtors in San Diego, if you look that up, if you just type that in, it's mostly lead aggregator websites that are going to have a bunch of realtors on there, and it's going to then rank them at the top and have like featured listings and different things like Zillow Premier Agent, stuff like that. So it's not something that I would recommend you go after. Instead, something much cheaper, homes for sale in La Jolla, and then you deliver a search property. So if you were to type this in, this is kind of what you would see as far as your competition is concerned. You'd have the Google local business ads, as well as other sites on here. And you can see that there's a lot of 5-star reviews that these people have. So if you don't have that, you're not most likely going to compete with these people, right? People are going to overlook you. Even if they click on you, they're probably going to then look at some of these other realtors that have way more reviews. Like if you were to go on to Amazon.com, you're not buying anything that doesn't have, has one review versus another brand that has hundreds of 5-star reviews. So make sure that you understand what your competition is. Now, when somebody's searching for homes for sale in La Jolla, you can see that all these are just regular websites that are sending them to a search for homes that are for sale in La Jolla. So that's something that you can recreate. You can generate, you can copy that. You can actually generate a lead from doing that without having to have a lot of reviews online. Now, who should be your target client? I hear a lot of people, they want listings, right? Or they want to work with luxury buyers and these things. Well, listings and luxury buyers most likely come from referrals or people that can buy very expensive homes. They have a lot of contacts, right? Most likely, in most cases, they have realtors that they know from a friend or somebody else that they're going to get a reference from. So we need to understand that, yes, those are the people that we'd love to work with. And maybe we do in the future get to work with those people by working with the regular Joe buyer that's going to go out there and buy the regular home. And then from there, you build your business. You get more reviews from the clients that you help. You build your database. And then from there, maybe you stack to luxury. Okay. Now, if you have the ad budget to be able to do that, and you already have the business and the proof that you've worked with luxury buyers or that you've sold a lot of listings, then by all means, go after those types of keywords. But just make sure you understand where you're at today and who you should be able to target, not based on what the commission size is, but who you can most likely turn from a lead to a client. So for certain types of keywords and clients, you need to be able to answer live calls or contact the lead immediately, where you're most likely going to lose that potential client to your competition. So if you're going after the keyword best realtor in San Diego, and then your face is there, and then they call you and you're not able to answer, most likely they're just going to go to the next realtor and they're going to call that person. First person to answer might win in a lot of cases. Well, that might not work for you if you're a solo agent. You can't answer every single call. Maybe you're with another client. Now, if you have a team and there's one person that's designated to make sure that that phone gets answered no matter what, then that's something that you could potentially do, right? But if you do like a search, homes for sale in La Jolla, you're delivering them the search right away. They can start looking at properties. Then you capture their name and information, and then you can go ahead and reach out to them at a later point after they've had a chance to look at the properties. And it gives you a little bit of time and space to make sure that you can reach back out to that lead and they haven't just gone to the next person. If you don't have a lot of 5-star reviews online, a lot of past transactions you can utilize to build your credibility, then you need to meet people who are in the beginning stages of their buying journey. Okay, that's going to give you the best opportunity because they're going to have the most amount of questions. And if you can answer those questions and make them feel confident that you can be able to be the good realtor for them, then they'll most likely still work with you. Okay, but if you're going after people and you're competing against other people that have a lot of that and they can just show them right away, hey, here's all the social proof, here's all my reviews and everything, you're going to have a lot harder of a time getting that client to work with you versus them. So how do you find and how do you pick your keywords? So Google has a free tool, it's Discover tool, and you can go in there and you can put in a keyword and then it'll tell you other keywords that they think are relevant. Now, I like to use this tool not only to find other keywords that I'll target, but it's basically going to do everything as a broad match. So then you can kind of see, oh, these are negative keywords that I want to make sure that are in my campaign because Google thinks that this is relevant to this type of search, and I don't want to work with that type of client. Once you set your AdWords account up, you'll be able to go over here and go to Tools, and then you'll see this Keyword Planner, and then you can say Discover New Keywords, and then you can start with one keyword, or you can enter a site, and it'll give you information about that site of keywords that it would recommend. So you can kind of see what Google is going to recommend if you do homes for sale in La Jolla. If you were to do a broad match, these are all the different things that Google would most likely have you show up for, which would be condos, La Jolla real estate, which I wouldn't really want to do because that could mean a lot of things. Estate sales, La Jolla, so I'd want to avoid that. Zillow, you can see there's 193 different ones. So you can say show 200, and it would bring them all up. But this will give you an idea of what other keywords that you potentially target, but really you just need to look and see what your ad budget is, because you want to go for most relevant. So homes for sale La Jolla, and then houses for sale in La Jolla might eat up somebody's entire ad budget, just depending on, how much those clicks cost, which we will get into. But this will also give you an idea of negative keywords to be able to put in here. Now, once you have a campaign set up inside of your AdWords account, then this is going to be where you're going to be able to put your negative keywords. So when you go in here and you're looking at your different ads, this is one of my accounts that I run for investor type loans. And you can go down here and go to search keywords, and then you can go to negative search keywords. And this is where you can put all of your negative keywords, as well as you can exclude locations as well. So you can see I exclude a lot of countries, which if you stay till the end and you get my Google course, I'll give you all these countries that you want to block, just because they can, even though you say that you want to target people in California, they use IP addresses sometimes and eat up your account as far as your ad spend. So there are some IP addresses in countries you want to block, which I'll provide you. If you want an in-depth version of the keyword tool, I have other videos that go in more in depth, but that's all I'm going to get into on this one, just because I don't want to make this too long. A great tool that is a paid, but you also get a 7-day free trial version, is SEMrush. This is great for SEO for Google AdWords, and they have a keyword magic tool. I highly recommend for you to get a free trial, even if you were just to use it so that you can set up your initial campaign, search things for SEO and otherwise. I'll go into a quick dive into how to be able to use this keyword tool. This is their magic tool. I can just type in here anything. So we'll just keep it the same as we've been doing. So homes for sale in La Jolla. And then right here, you can do all keywords, broad, phrase, and exact, which we went over already. And then it also gives you other ideas of like cost per click, keyword difficulty. So that's for ranking purposes for SEO, volume of the keyword. And then this has filters, which is really nice. So say you don't want to go over $2 cost per click, you can apply this. We'll take out any keywords, so now we're down to 60. We only phrase match, and then you can kind of look in here and see if there's anything else that you don't want. And the great thing is you can add these to different lists for yourself, and then you can export this out and go upload it into Google AdWords. So there's a lot of different things that you can do with this as well, but this will give you even more of an idea of what you want to be able to target as well, and a lot of different ideas for SEO, because it tells you the intent of them. So this is transactional, which we went over, and then how hard it would be to rank for something. So now that we've been an overview, high view level of Google AdWords, let's talk about setting up your first winning ad. Now, if you're watching this video, it's most likely that you're a beginner at Google AdWords. So my suggestion is that we do a Google AdWords campaign that's cheap per click. That way it doesn't scare you as far as your ad budget is concerned, and also something that should work across all markets, regardless of how many reviews you have or anything else. So what we're going to talk about is just doing a search ad, utilizing an IDX website. If you don't have that, we'll get into the best company to be able to go to for that. So we'll get right into it. Now, when you're setting up your campaign, the first thing you need to do is choose your objective. So there's a lot of different options here for you. For this, we're going to do leads. I know website traffic, that might be confusing, but what we want to do is we want to generate leads that we can contact. So that's going to be the option that we choose. Now, if you want more in-depth information about any of the different categories and other things, there's other trainings that I have in my Google step-by-step PDF. Will go over these options in more detail of what they are, but I just want to make sure that we get to you being able to run your first search ad. The next thing you're going to do is choose a campaign type. So we're going to use their search campaign only. So that's just people that type things in. When you're talking about Performance Max, then it's going to post your ad on like YouTube. It's going to be in their display network. If you go to like shopping and you see like the little ads across the top. So if you like Google, I want Nike running shoes, then you see the images with people selling stuff. That's what that's for. With this, we want to be very specific. So we want to do search only. Next, it's going to ask you what your goal is. So we want lead form submissions. And then you want to name your campaign. I want to split every campaign up. So if you're doing homes for a neighborhood, a city, a county, then you do homes for sale in that county. And then you want to split off condos, townhomes. You don't want them all together, which we'll get into in a little bit of how to group your keywords. And then for bidding, you just want to keep it like this and just set it up for conversions. Also, when Google gives you a lot of recommendations on budgets or different things that you can do, I highly just recommend to ignore them. Google AdWords want you to spend more money, so they're always going to be telling you ways that you can get more leads or get more traffic. But at the end of the day, it's just spending more of your budget. What you want to do is your own research and look at it, and maybe if it's telling you to increase it, by $25 a day, maybe you increase it by $5 and see what that does in smaller incremental amount. As far as the networks are concerned, you want to uncheck both of these. We don't want the search partners network. That's going to be much cheaper traffic, or the Google display network. Those are pictures. We want to stick to only people that are searching on Google itself. They're going to Google, they're putting it into the search engine. That's the only place that we want to market. Once you've actually utilized all of your, you've capped out, you are basically can't get any more keywords that are on the search, and you want to get more leads, you have more ad budget above and beyond that, then you can start looking for the display network, the search network, and those things. But until your ad spend is utilized just on search, I don't recommend branching off into those. Then you're going to pick your locations. So you're going to go enter another location, and then you're going to put the area. Now, obviously, people all across the United States could potentially be buying a property anywhere, right? So there might be a person in California that's moving to Texas and vice versa. But in most cases, what I want to do is I want to target the state that I'm in, and you may even narrow it down to the county. So for La Jolla, that's in San Diego County, maybe you only want to have people that are regularly in the San Diego County area. I'm doing all of California. It's really up to you. I wouldn't go wider than the actual state itself, and then don't go smaller than a county, or else it'll just eat up your ad budget. So what you want to do is enter in the location, and then on the bottom, location options, I would do presence people in or regularly in the included locations. I would not do people that are interested in a location, just because, some people just search things online. They're not actually ever going to move. They're just looking at homes, they're daydreaming, whatever. So we don't want to do interest. You won't need that, just because in most cases you'll have more than enough for people that are in the location themselves. If you do speak other languages and you want to go after other languages, you can. If not, just make sure this is set to English. And then it's going to automatically try to get you to do broad match. So make sure that you turn this off and then use keyword match types, because what we're going to be using is phrase match. And now let's talk about how you should group your keywords. So we would do homes or houses for sale in city, so San Diego. Homes or houses for sale in Maricopa County is a county in Arizona. Homes or houses in for a neighborhood. So there's a neighborhood basically break up in San Diego. One's Normal Heights, one's North Park. They're specific areas. So in yours, it might be the same, where areas are broken into smaller places. Open houses in. So homes for sale would be different than open house. If somebody's searching for open houses, I don't want to deliver them a search that has homes that are just for sale that don't have open houses coming up, right? I want to deliver them exactly what they're looking for. So if they say open houses in La Jolla, then what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a search where I know that there's currently going to be open houses coming up. Condos, new listings, townhomes. You'll get the idea as you get the whole entire list from my Google step-by-step guide. It'll give you all the different keyword categories that you would target for a search campaign searching for properties. So keywords to target, this would be how I would set something up, like homes for sale in La Jolla, houses for sale in La Jolla, and then also the zip code of La Jolla, and then La Jolla, San Diego, California. Just make sure you're careful if there's areas that have similar or the same exact name. to another area in the same state or even in other states, you want to make sure that you're cognizant of where your traffic is coming from. All right, so how to create your final path URL. So that's the website domain and then the display path. So I'll show you what that actually means, but you're going to create your search on your IDX site and then paste that into the URL in your ad and then change the display path. So let's just take a look at what that would be. So you would go to your website where you have your searches and you go to your filters. And if you're doing homes for sale in La Jolla, you would just, make sure that it's only selected houses that are currently for sale in that location. And then you would copy the web address at the top. And that's what you're going to put inside of your Google ad for the destination of where when the person clicks on the ad, that they're going to go to that exact search. So this is where you'd be able to post that in the final URL. And then you can change it because it's a really long URL. It's not very pleasant looking as far as where somebody wants to go. So you could type in La Jolla, and now the ad would say San Diego property research.com/La Jolla. So it actually changes the end of it so it doesn't have that really long ending. Now let's talk about AdWord headlines. So this is the headline that I've highlighted here, homes for sale in La Jolla, California. So you can have 15 different variations and up to 30 characters. Okay, so you want to have different variations so that Google can keep presenting different options to people. And then whichever one the winner is, that's the one that Google is going to continuously show. Now you'll be able to pin your headline, one of them. So houses for sale in Hillcrest, I would pin this. I would just click this little pin right here. So that one would always be the first. And then you see where it says dash newest listings, that would be this one. And these ones would all rotate. So it says get full MLS access for free, upcoming open houses, see 3D virtual tours now. So essentially you have 15 options. This one would be pinned, so it would always show this one. And then you'd have 14 rotating that would be, more intriguing, trying to get people to click on certain things. And maybe see 3D virtual tours now is the winner. That would be what Google would continuously show as it is performing better for you, because Google wants their performance to be up, but also your performance as well. Now, underneath your headline is the description, and you can get 4 variations up to 90 characters. So here's some that I personally wrote and that you can find that are currently working. You can change these, and I'll show you how to be able to, you could use like ChatGPT to create new ones. Then you can go to the Google Ads Transparency Center. If you have SEMrush, you can see other competitors' ads and take what you like. But they say like view photos, 3D virtual tours, schools and listing details for homes for sale in Hillcrest, view listings, photos, and use detailed real estate filters to find the perfect home. Browse photos, see new properties, get open house info. So this is all that would show on the bottom so that you can intrigue people to click on your ad. Now let's talk about your AdWords budget. Okay, when people go to Google, the highest percentage are going to click at the very top. Okay, they're going to click the very first one. That's just habit, maybe, whatever it is. That's who's going to get the most amount of clicks, is the person at the top. So we want to make sure that we're doing the bid when we're looking at the AdWords tool to be at the top of the page. We'll get more in depth in this in the training that you can get for free. But essentially, I'm taking the average monthly searches and times it by 12 months. That way I can get the annual searches and then divide that by 365 so I can find out what the average daily searches are. And then we're going to take that and we're going to multiply it by the top of the bid high range. So we saw earlier was maybe like $2 for the La Jolla one. And then times it by 5%, because that's how many people on average, the Google says between 1 and 5% will click on your ad. Now, a lot of times I'm getting higher towards 10% in some cases, but let's just keep it at 5, and that'll create the daily spend minimum. And then I usually multiply it by 1.5 for the ideal daily spend, because I want to make sure that I'm at the top. I don't want to run out of ad spend. I want to make sure that I get as many of the searches for people that do homes for sale in La Jolla, but I'm sitting at the very, very top. So let's actually look at the example for sale in La Jolla. There's 2,400 monthly searches, times 12, that's 28,800 yearly searches. We're going to divide that by 365 days. So there's about 79 people a day that are searching homes for sale in La Jolla. We're going to times that by the top of bid, high range, which is $1.94. So that's $153. And then we times it by 5%, which is $7.65 for the daily minimum spend. And then I'm going to multiply that by 1.5. So I'm going to change it to $11.50. So essentially I'm going to spend $11.50 a day on the keyword or campaign homes for sale in La Jolla. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to set my custom budget. Don't choose what Google suggests. And then put the $11.50 in here. And then just so you know, it's for the month. You're not going to pay more than your daily budget times the average number of days in a month. But some days you might spend less and some days you might spend more because it's all based on the amount of people that are searching for that keyword. And it's all based on historical numbers that Google has utilized before. So if there's not as many people searching for homes for sale in La Jolla, then your ad budget just won't get used. Okay, but obviously they keep their stats up, so as long as you're looking at the most recent information, your ad budget should be pretty on par with what's going on. And obviously you can adjust the ad budget as it's running to make sure that you're optimizing everything. Now, once you have the keywords that you want to target, you also want to get your negative keywords in there. Those would be things, and you'll get a whole entire list through Google course I'm providing to you for free. All you want to do is just add these in. You put the negative keywords in like by owner, so for sale by owner, Zillow, Realtor.com, Homes.com. I don't want to compete with those. If people are typing in Realtor.com, most likely that means they want to go to Realtor.com. That's where they want to search, right? So I'm not going to compete against. I want to just go after people that are looking for homes for sale in an area, houses for sale, condos, open houses, etc. They're doing a more generic research versus trying to get to a website. Like I spoke about, I would also exclude some locations, certain IP addresses, and so you can do that in the location settings as well. When you're typing it in, it's going to ask you if you want to include something or exclude something. So you would just click exclude for the areas that you don't. Now, what we need to remember is we pay for clicks. So we need to make sure that the people that go from Google to your site actually convert into leads. And then we need to do this by giving them what they searched for. So if they search for homes for sale in La Jolla, you set your search up for that. And then when they click on a property on your IDX site, it should prompt them to enter in their information. If your IDX site is not set up like this, then I would suggest signing up for RealGeeks or Sierra Interactive. I found that RealGeeks has the highest conversion. Below this video, in the description, you'll be able to see a link so you can go to RealGeeks if you want to learn more about their services. They have great landing pages that work along with ways to be able to follow up with people and convert them into more deals. So I would suggest making sure that you have a site that does this. If your site is just more of a place that people can go to and look at properties, they can open it up, they can get all the details without giving you the information, then what I would suggest if you're going to do Google AdWords is make sure that either that site gets adjusted so it captures leads, or that you take a secondary one or move it over to a company that's more lead-based like RealGeeks. Now, the last thing that you want to do is set up conversion trackings. So you want it to be set to lead forms. This way you're feeding information back to Google and it knows that somebody actually completed the form, which then you can utilize that information later. It's going to deliver to those people, basically understanding what's working for you, as well as then you can track your cost per lead versus just your cost per click. And the more conversions that you're getting, Google is going to say, okay, this website is providing what people are searching for, because if there's a conversion, that means that the person found what they wanted, and that gives that information back to Google. It says that your site's more relevant. You'll get a higher relevancy score, which means that you'll most likely have a better opportunity to show up at the top combined with what you're bidding on that keyword. Now, setting up conversions is a little bit more complicated. It's not the same for every single site. If you are using a third-party IDX site, most likely they have a support team. You'd be able to provide them with basically the coding that Google AdWords gives you. They can put it on the site for you, and that'll be able to track the conversions. It really depends on what site that you have. if you're managing it yourself or you have somebody else. As long as you have somebody managing it, everybody knows where to be able to add the Google coding to be able to do the conversions. Now, like we talked about, leads is a long game, and you're going to be able to manage your campaign for maximum performance through insights and reports that Google AdWords provides you. So you can actually go in there every single week and you can go under search terms, and it's going to show you what people typed in to be able to land on your page. So I'm marketing towards investors for investor style loans, and one of the keywords was commercial mortgage lenders. That keyword was expensive one, plus it converted into no leads. So what I wanted to do is I check marked it, and then I'm going to add it to my negative keyword list. So I stopped showing up when people search that, because it's obviously not performing for me. It's just costing me money. So you can come in here every week and you can remove and add things to the negative keyword list, so your actual campaign gets cleaner, better, and more optimized over time because you're adding things to it. So if you want my proven Google Ads strategy for real estate agents, like I said, it's 100% free to you. All you have to do is just below this video in YouTube, just in the comment section, just type in Google Ads strategy. And then what I'll do is I will send you the link and you can be able to download all of that. It's going to walk you through step by step how to be able to do everything. Now, if you'd like to schedule a one-on-one with me or come to any of my live webinars where I teach more about Google AdWords, Facebook ads, and just other marketing strategies that are working in today's market, just scan this QR code. You'll be able to get your own free account. My website's just lendingagentshelp.com. You can call me, text me, email me. I'd love to be able to see what you're currently doing, what's working for you, or we potentially bring in more business and hopefully partner together on clients. That's ultimately my goal. But whether you decide to partner with me or not, everything in my education platform is free to you. So go ahead and make sure that you go ahead and comment below so you can get my Google Ads strategy for you 100% free. I promise you'll be able to generate exclusive leads just like you would purchase from a Zillow.com, all those different places that you're spending, and obviously it's costing you a lot more because you're buying it from a third party. You'll be able to get them yourself.